Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and today we're back with another honest review of the banner character in Honkai Star Rail. Now, you know we do this every single patch, and I'll make it as unbiased as I can. For those of you regular viewers on the channel, or maybe those of you who are new as well, I'll give you a TLDR first. If you have seen me posting that she's a very strong character, ridiculously overpowered, she actually meets a lot of the expectations. I think out of her entire kit, there are only 2 letdowns that I wished I could have seen in her kit, but overall, by and large, I still think she's a fantastic character that will add value to most accounts. Now, first things first, let's, you know we don't waste time on this channel, so let me talk about the 2 main gripes that I have for this particular character, and we're going to do it as unbiasedly as I can. I think the first gripe that I have is her ultimate being way too high energy cost compared to a lot of the other characters. For those of you who don't know, why do I say it's like ultimate? I know the skill is the one that apportions the damage, but this one gives her the charges for sustain, and if you look at her trace here, it's also the thing that sustains the entire team, although it's like a little bit. 5% of her max HP, let's say you have 10k HP, plus 133 is about 600-ish. So 600 plus healing with her ultimate ability is still generally a team-wide heal. If you look at the other characters that are sustained in nature in the game, for example like Nickss, 100, you have Natasha, who is 90, and you look at the other like 5-star sustain units, for example like Bailu, who is 100, and Jett as well at 100. Fu Xuan, on the other hand, her ultimate burst cost really follows a lot of the other DPSs we have in the game, for example like Blade at 130, and also characters like Jingyuan at 130 as well, which is very hefty, large sum, especially if you want her to use it often to either sustain the entire team for HP, or to keep the charges up so that she can use her talent, that flipping thing, which gives her the entire HP restore when she drops below like a certain 50% threshold and stuff like that. So that's my first gripe. Of course, it's not a very big thing, but I was dreaming and hoping that it could maybe be a much more palatable number, like maybe 120, 110. However, is not dumb, of course. They introduce a problem and sell it to you at E4. When you, of course, are attacked, you will regenerate 5 energy. So I do feel like after testing her out, one of the biggest difficulties about it is like getting her ultimate burst cost ready. And my second gripe for this character would probably be the differential between her signature light cone as well as the other light cones that we currently have in game. If you look at, for example, her signature light cone at S1, you have 24% max HP here, 12% energy regeneration. This is like 66% of a main stat because energy restoration is like 19 point something percent main stat. So this is a very huge amount of main stat that you get. 24% max HP percentage bonus. This is also absolutely massive. And not to mention, you see the HP stat that we have here is 1270, and let's just remember like 529. I can show you the other light cones in the game, and the disparity between her signature as well as the other free-to-play light cones in the game is actually quite broad. So let's just go into, for example, a free-to-play 5-star one here. You can see the defense is exactly the same in terms of defensive stat, but the one that she scales off with HP is 20% less on the textures of memory, and you don't even get like any other like additional HP in the substats, so that difference will just keep growing as you stack on like more HP, and most of us stack a lot of HP percentage on this character. So that will be my second biggest issue. She doesn't really have a free-to-play option that gives her as much HP percentage compared to if you had her signature light cone at S1 to get that. One way that they can improve this is by introducing more 4-star light cones with maybe a bit of HP percentage. Of course, I don't think they're going to release another 5-star light cone real quick because they already have texture of memories for the Herta shop. Even Moment of Victory here, if you go here and see, it has a little bit more defense, but the thing that she scales by is 20% less as well. You don't get any HP here too, and she scales very well off HP. For those of you who want to know, like, other than texture of memories, the other light cones that why am I using like Landau's Choice, I did a video already on the channel talking about damage reduction as well as how it applies to the apportion damage. For those of you who are interested whether it applies to DOT as well, check that video out on the channel. I think it's going to be very useful for you if you're playing this character and wanting to know more about her mechanics. Other than those two, so I gave the bad grapes in front for you guys to know, like, so that if you want to just know a quick summary. By and large, I think these characters are very solid characters. Other than like those 2 main issues that I have with her, she is almost like probably one of my favorite characters in the game. In most games that I've played, I played games for 10-20 years, I haven't seen a character this OP doing so many things. I already showcased on the channel her solo run in the Swamp Disaster difficulty 5. I personally took like 4 characters, it was so difficult to clear, but she can solo the entire thing on her own. Very ridiculous. I don't think any other character comes close to doing it with such ease as her, but just shows how very strong this character is. I can't believe she's a tank. And the first thing why she's overpowered, and then now we're going into like the very honest but still talking about her strengths and why it might be a good thing to pull her. She fulfills more than just preservation. She is a character that fulfills probably 3 or 4 paths in some way or another. So preservation, first things first, most of us know she apportions damage, takes it on herself, damage reduction to the team. Simple stuff, still very, very OP, because apportionment of damage is actually like guaranteed aggro draw, whereas you have taunters are subjected to enemy effect resistance, you have your natural aggro drawers which are subjected to RNG. Fu Xuan doesn't care about any of that. She guarantees you take 65% of the damage your teammates take, and on top of that they also get damage reduction on top of that, so you don't get all that RNG involved. So even as preservation class alone, she's already very, very strong, but what makes her even more broken is the amount of other things that she does too. Harmony, she buffs the entire team because she's able to improve their HP percentage. For any of your characters like Blade who scales off max HP, technically you're buffing his damage as well by using her skill. She also buffs crit rate, 12% crit rate, that's a 24% crit damage. That's double the amount of broken kill that it gives, and even slightly more on top of that. Very, very strong, somewhat of a Harmony character already. And Abundance as well, because when she outs, she heals the entire team. Well, although it's a little bit, but if you have like her signature light cone, you also heal the light cone you heal the entire team with the effect of the light cone. But anyway, we're talking about E0, S0 without the signature. So these two are done, and her ultimate is also like a erudition-like burst, where you burst the entire enemies, doing a lot of AoE damage, a lot of break damage on the enemies too. Quantum also, so you have an option of building even a little break effect if you wanted to get a bit of that quantum break damage. So very, very well-rounded, very strong character. Very, very versatile because you have almost everything in her kit. You really can't ask for more in that case. For those of you who are wondering, is E0 fine? Like we talked about how good she is E0 enough, or do you really want all these juicy Eidolons that are so strong? In my personal opinion, and I practice what I preach, I'm going to remain E0 on this character, and I'm not going to pull her signature light cone despite like saying how the discrepancy between like 4-star light cones and her signature is. I'm probably going to stay here because I have a pretty nice amount of HP percentage. Quite satisfied about this. The only thing I want to improve now is like her speed. If you can see here the stats, I will show you my relic sets in a little bit and what I'm exactly running for you guys to reference to. But I don't think that it's necessary to get her Eidolons. If you guys care about Eidolons, maybe you don't mind like investing in her a little bit more. I think it's a good idea as well because she can probably fill in most roles in a team. But I have another video for that. Are her Eidolons worth it? Check it out if you're interested. How does she fare among all the other characters? If I would be brutally honest, I think that she ranks as number 1 out of all of the characters, 5-star limited characters currently we have in game. Even compared to the 5-star standard characters, she is by far number 1 and is not even close to the second. She does too much value in her. Very difficult to power creep as well. The only other character that probably comes close will be Lorta. And Lorta fulfills his own niche as well. He's not power crap, don't get me wrong, and don't like take it out of context. He's not power crap by Fu Xuan by any means. They are both excellent sustain units, but they fulfill different niches. And the niche that, for example, Fu Xuan does is much broader than the roles that Lorta fulfills much better than Fu Xuan. So that is why like she's by far number 1. Lorta is a close second. If you're talking about Eidolons, Lorta of course scales better with Eidolons compared to Fu Xuan, but that's besides the point of this video. I think the main issue and what I'll actually be worried moving forward is with the introduction of like such a strong character already in Honkai Star Rail this early, does that mean that power creep is going to be an issue moving forward, or are we going to see monsters that perhaps can one-shot the entire team? Because if we look at her longevity, the only way we actually remove her from the game and force players to spend more money is maybe they have enemies that either one are able to remove by some way or another this matrix of prescience on your entire team very regularly. Maybe like a super stripper buff or something, like the enemies will keep proccing to remove all the buffs that your team have. I do foresee that could be a thing, but then the other way of course is if the enemy just keeps one-shotting your entire team. Doesn't matter how much you apportion, doesn't matter how much you, for example, absorb, she just gets one-shotted with one enemy AoE. But I think in that situation, probably our issue won't be whether Fu Xuan is good or not anymore. It will be bigger problems like in the game state, and that's my honest opinion as well. So those two aside, those two major issues, I think she's going to be a character that will last for the long run. And relics, where am I standing right now to giving this review? I shared about it in my build guide, so any of you who don't have like this exact set, you want to know my variety of builds, because there are so many different ways to build such a very general character. My way is not the best way, it's just the way that I'm most comfortable with, that fits into my playstyle personally. I'm running a broken kill, 10% effect resistance here, to prevent her from getting crowd control. I don't think that she needs like 0% effect rest. You need quite a bit of effect rest, because if she's getting aggroed from Landau's choice, she's taking a lot of damage. Likely she'll be hit by crowd control debuffs eventually, more often than not, and she won't be able to proc her talent if she's being CC'd. That's why I really like a broken kill in essence, giving her a bit of herself utility, but also buffing the entire team's crit rate, crit damage. So she buffs crit rate, crit damage already. Very, very fantastic. On top of that, you have Longevous Disciple here, which gives 12% max HP. Most of you will be either running, definitely probably running this 2-piece, but I chose the 4-piece here instead of other ones because this is just too much value. 16% crit rate versus anything else that we can have, like any other 2-piece, for example like 6% speed or 10% outgoing healing bonus, like defense here and there. I prefer the 16% crit rate. It's really, really very massive because it's like a 32% crit damage equivalent, which is like triple this one, and she can proc it quite reliably as well, because she gets her HP consumed very, very often from her matrix apportionment as well. So what are the main stats and substats I'm running? For the flat stats, I am focusing mainly on HP percentage. As you can see here, I have like 16% with some speed, some crit damage to make use of this Longevous Disciple's crit rate. Here I'm also running a 16%, got quite lucky here. Some defense, some crit damage is nice. Attack is a wasted stat for her, unfortunately. And the main stats, I'm running triple HP percentage. Some of you might be wondering, why am I not running like speed boots? She's going a little bit slow. I have her at 115, which is of course below the 134 threshold for Memory of Chaos to like start at 2 turns for the first cycle and stuff like that. But still, I think that she's fine. I don't see, so far I've been testing her out on auto battle and she works really fine at 115. I do have like a speed boots, but it doesn't have as nice subs as this one. This one is like pretty nice because you have good amounts of crit rate, damage, speed here, so it offsets that a little bit because the differential between this and a speed boot is like 19 speed difference. So I didn't mind just like getting the full HP stats here because of the subs are more efficient. That is why I'm like running a triple HP set. Yeah, pretty much. I never thought that outgoing healing bonus was super good because it's like only 600 an entire team, right? So 10% of that, or somewhat, I don't think it's very, very reliable compared to like 1k plus more HP as well. Last but not least, my rope is an energy regeneration rope. I'm running it because I have very, very nice rolls for the HP. 19 is like a quad roll, 4 rolls into HP percentage. The last one went into defense. This was a 4-liner when I got it. Super lucky, super defensive piece, and that is why my HP is so high for a Fu Xuan that is running a 4-star light cone with 8.2k, and she has pretty well balanced stats with nice amount of crit rate, crit damage, 1-to-2 ratio, together with the crit rate buffs that she gets, her broken kill, and of course, nice amount of energy restoration, effect rest. The only thing that I'm missing really is a speed, which hopefully I can change like some attack subs or effect hit rate subs into speed. I think that will be pretty perfect. And yeah, that is my Fu Xuan. If any of you want more guides on this particular character, do check it out on the channel. I think that the only people that want to consider not pulling are people that have triple sustain units. Everyone else, please consider. Do a bit more research if you are still sitting on the fence. Otherwise, if you pulled her, I'm very happy for you. This character will be relevant for a really, really long time. Anyways, I do this every single patch, unbiased opinion, and I should also share a bit of my thoughts as well. If you're interested in more content like this every single patch, do like and subscribe. It will really help the channel grow as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.